It is O-Level Physics 5054, Paper 1, Variant 1, May June 15. Today we will solve questions from question number 1 to question number 20. Question number 1, is mass a scalar or a vector? And is acceleration a scalar or a vector? Mass is defined as quantity of matter and it doesn't need any direction for its complete specification. So mass is a scalar quantity. Whereas acceleration, it is a vector quantity. Acceleration is defined as rate of change in velocity, and with the change in direction or change in the magnitude of velocity, acceleration will be changed. So for the complete specification of acceleration along with the magnitude, direction is required. So acceleration is a vector quantity. Now here in the option B, mass is given scalar and acceleration is given vector. So our correct option is option B. Question number 2. The diameter and the length of a thin wire approximately 50 centimeter in length are measured as precisely as possible. What are the best instruments to use? To measure the length of 50 centimeter, the best instrument that we have to use is a rule. If the length is more than 1 meter, then we will use tape. Here the length is less than 1 meter, so we have to use rule to measure the length of the wire. Now what about the diameter? To measure the diameter, we can use either vernier caliper or we can use micrometer, but we will prefer micrometer because micrometer can measure the diameter more precisely because the least count of the micrometer is less than vernier caliper, means the micrometer can measure the diameter more accurately as compared to vernier calipers. So our correct option is option A. To measure the diameter, we will use micrometer, and to measure the length, we will use a rule. So option A is correct option. Question number 3. A student walks at a constant speed. He takes 100 seconds to walk 160 paces. The length of each pace is 0.80 meter. How far does the student walk in 50 seconds? Okay, here total paces are 160 and each pace is of 0.80 meter. So total distance covered in meter will be equal to 160 multiplied by 0.8. It will be equal to 128 meters. Now to cover this 128 meters, the time taken is 100 seconds. It is asked how far does the student walk in 50 seconds. Definitely in 50 seconds, the distance covered will be half of this 128. So half of 128 is equal to 64 meters. So our correct option is option A because in option A it is given 64 meters. Question number 4. The mass of a stone is found on earth using a pan balance. The weight of the stone is found using a Newton meter. Are the readings the same or different on the moon? With the help of pan balance, we use the mass, and with the help of Newton meter, we measure the weight. Now, mass of any substance always remains constant whether the mass is on moon or on earth. So mass will remain same, it will not change. What about the weight? Weight is a product of mass and gravitational field strength that is given as G. So W is equal to M into G, and this gravitational field strength is different on moon and earth. So weight of the object will be different on moon and earth also. So weight will be different and mass will be same. Now we will check our option. The same thing is given in the option B. The reading on the pan balance means mass of the substance will remain same on moon and on earth. Reading on the Newton meter means weight will be different on moon and on earth because weight depends on the gravitational field strength, and gravitational field strength on moon and earth is different. Question number 5. The table shows the weight and masses of four objects on different planets. On which planet is the gravitational field strength the largest? We know that W weight is given as product of mass and gravitational field strength. So G will be equal to W over M, where W is the weight and M is mass of the object. Now in all the four cases we have to find out the value of G with the help of this formula. G is equal to W over M. Now here in the first case G will be equal to W over M. Here W weight is 2 Newton and mass is 20 kg. So 2 divided by 20, it will be 0.1 Newton per kg. Now in all the remaining three cases we will also calculate the value of G in the same manner, and by solving this one we got that in option D the gravitational field strength is 0.16 Newton per kg, and it is the largest in all the four cases. So option D is correct option. In option D, G is equal to 0.16 Newton per kg, and it is the largest in all the four options. So our correct option is option D. Question number 6. Four forces act at a point as shown. Here we have four forces that are acting on this point. On the right side 4 Newton, on the left side 8 Newton, on the upper direction 2 Newton, downward direction 2 Newton. What is the size of the resultant force? Here the upward force and the downward force are equal, so these forces will be balanced out and the resultant will be 0. In the right direction, the force is 4 Newton. In the left direction, force is 8 Newton, so the resultant will be 8 minus 4 means 4 Newton in the direction of left. Now it is given here that in the option B, resultant force is 4 Newton, so our correct option is option B. Question number 7. A student drops from rest a table tennis ball in air. What happens to the velocity and to the acceleration of the ball during the first few seconds after release? Okay, when the ball is released, there is only one force acting on the ball, and this ball is force of gravity, and because of this force of gravity there is an acceleration in the ball, and this acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity, and its value is 10 meter per second square. Since there is an acceleration means there is a velocity, so we can say velocity will be increased, velocity will change. Now here in the option C and D it is given velocity increases, so our possible options are C and D. Now what about the acceleration? When the ball starts moving downward, an opposing force starts to build up in the opposite direction, and this opposing force is because of frictional force of air. Now two forces are acting on the ball. One force is in the downward direction, that is gravitational pull, and second force is frictional force of air, that is in the upward direction. Since two forces are acting on the object, so there will be a resultant force, and this resultant force will gradually decrease because one force is in the downward direction and second force is in the upward direction. Now according to Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to m into A, means acceleration will be equal to F over m, where this F is resultant force. Since resultant force is decreasing, so acceleration will also be decreased. Now here in the option C it is given acceleration decreases, so our correct option is option C, velocity increases and acceleration decreases. Question number 8. The mass and volume of four different objects are plotted as shown. Which object has the smallest density? Okay, density is defined as mass over volume. Here it is asked smallest density. Smallest density will be when the volume will be maximum and mass will be minimum. Now here we have a graph, and on the graph on the x-axis there is volume, on the y-axis there is mass. Now when the density will be smallest? When the volume is largest. Now we are looking, volume is largest, volume is 10 centimeter cube at point D and at point B. So our possible options are B and D. Now what about the mass? The density will be smallest when the mass will also be smallest. Now here the mass is also smallest in the option D, because here we are looking, when we will move upward the mass is increasing. Now here the mass is 10 gram Here mass is 20 gram. So mass is smallest at point D and volume is largest at point D. So density will be smallest at point D. So our correct option is option D. Question number 9. Newton's third law involves two quantities which are equal in size and opposite in direction. What is the unit of these two quantities? Okay, Newton's third law states when an object exerts a force on another object, the second object exerts the same force on the first object but in opposite direction. So the quantity here is force and unit of force is Newton. So our correct option is option C. Question number 10. When a car turns a corner at speed, it risks toppling over. Two factors affecting the stability of a car are the height of its center of mass and the distance between the front wheel. Which factors makes the car most stable? We have studied that stability depends on two factors. The first factor, lower the center of mass, and the second factor, greater base area. Lower the center of mass. Now here, center of mass, low is given in C and D, so our possible options are C and D. Now second thing, greater base area. Greater base area is given in option D. Here it is given distance between the front wheels is large, means base area is greater or large in the option D. So our correct option is option D, center of mass low and distance between front wheel is large. Question number 11. A cyclist travels along a horizontal track at constant speed. The work done by the cyclist is equal to option A, the change in kinetic energy. Here it is given constant speed. When the speed is constant means there is no change in velocity. When there is no change in velocity, there will be no change in kinetic energy. Option B, the force of air resistance. Work done is defined as product of force and the distance moved. Here it is given the force of air resistance. Here is no distance, so this option is also incorrect. Option C, the force of friction in the bicycle. Again, it is given the force of friction. Here, there is no distance moved, so this option is also incorrect. Option D, the thermal energy heat produced. It is the only possible option. Work done is a form of energy. Thermal energy is also a form of energy. So it is our best option. Option D is the correct option. Question number 12. A 2 kg mass has 300 joules of kinetic energy. What is the speed of the mass? Kinetic energy is defined as half mv square, where this m is mass and this v is for velocity. Now here kinetic energy is given 300 joules. Here mass is given 2 kg. We have to find out the speed or velocity. So by solving this equation, we will get velocity is equal to 17.3 meters per second. So here approximate answer, it is given 17 meters per second in the option C. So our correct option is option C. Question number 13. The diagram shows a simple model of braking system of a car. A force of 20 Newton is applied to the piston P. As a result, there is a force on piston Q. Piston P has an area of 5 centimeters square and the piston Q has an area of 25 centimeters square. What is the force F? Okay, here it is hydraulic system, and in the hydraulic system we have studied that the ratio of force and area on this side will be equal to ratio of force and area on the other side. Suppose here force is F1, then the area will be A1. Here if force is F2, then we will represent area by A2. Now F1 over A1 is equal to F2 over A2. Here F1 is 20 Newton. A1 area, here the area is given 5 centimeters square. Piston P has an area of 5 centimeters square. So it will be 20 over 5. Now what about F2? This F2, this force we have to find out. And here area at the piston Q, it is given 25 centimeters square. So A2 will be equal to 25, and by solving this one we will get 100 Newton, and 100 Newton is given in option C. So our correct option is option C. Question number 14. The diagram show liquids in containers. Which column of liquid exerts the greatest pressure on the base of its container? Pressure is defined as product of rho g h, where rho is for density, g is for gravitational field strength, and this h is height, or we can say this h is the distance from the surface of the liquid to the point where we have to find out the pressure. Now here in option C and D we are looking that height of the liquid is less as compared to A and B. So here pressure in C and D will be less as compared to A and B. Now we will check A and B only. In A and in B, the height of the liquid is same. Gravitational field strength is also same in both the options. Now here the only difference is about the density. Here density of the liquid is 0.8, here density of the liquid is 1. So the pressure will be more where density will be more. And we are observing that in the option B, the density is more as compared to option A, so the pressure exerted by the liquid will be more in the beaker B. So our correct option is option B. Question number 15. A solid bar is heated at one end. How is thermal energy transferred to the other end of the bar? In solids, the heat is transferred through conduction. In conduction, the molecules of the substance, molecules of the solid remains at their mean position, and remaining at their mean position, they vibrate rapidly. When they vibrate, they transfer their energy to the neighboring molecules, and from molecule to molecule energy is transferred from one point to another point. Now we will check our options. In option A, it is given heated molecules move along the bar. Molecules do not move, they just vibrate at their mean position. Option B, heated molecules move. Molecules, again it is given molecules move. So this option is also incorrect because molecules do not move, they just vibrate. Option C, heated molecules stay completely still. Molecules do not stay completely still. They are in vibrational motion. So option C is also not possible. Option D, heated molecules vibrate more rapidly and pass energy to the other molecules. Yes, it is correct option. Molecules vibrate, and because of the vibration, energy is transferred from one point to another point. Question number 16. The tubes inside solar heating panels use the sun's radiation to warm water. Why are the tubes painted black? In the topic of radiation, we have studied that black color or black paint absorbs the heat most and also radiates the heat most. Black is best absorber of heat and also best emitter of heat. Now we will check our option. Option A, black surfaces absorb radiation well. Option B, black surfaces conduct heat well. Option C, black surfaces emit radiation well. Option D, black surfaces reflect radiation well. Here in option A, it is given it absorbs radiation well, and in option C, it is given it emits radiation well. So our possible options are A and C only. Now both the answers are correct. Option A is also correct and option C is also correct. But we have to choose only one option. Here in the question it is given sun radiation to warm water. To warm water means our concern is to absorb the heat. Here our concern is not for the radiation. So here this option C is correct. This sentence is correct, but this sentence is not related to our topic. So our correct option, our best option is option A. Black surfaces absorb heat radiation well, and when it will absorb radiation well, then the water will be warmed up quickly. Question number 17. Why is there a constriction in a clinical thermometer? The constriction in a clinical thermometer is just to stop the mercury to going back in the bulb, and it is given in the option D. to stop the mercury from giving back to the bulb. So this option is correct option. There is no relation with the construction, with the range or sensitivity or with the expansion. It is just used to prevent the mercury to going back to the bulb. Question number 18. In a liquid in glass thermometer, the liquid column is 2 cm long at 0 degree centigrade and it expands 10 cm when heated to 100 degree centigrade. Measuring from P, how long is the liquid column at 30 degree centigrade? Here we have to use the formula theta degree centigrade is equal to 100 P theta minus Pi divided by Ps minus Pi. This formula we have studied in the topic of thermal physics. Now here this P theta is the thermometric property at the temperature which we have to find out. This Pi is the thermometric property of ice at a temperature of 0 degree centigrade. This Ps is the thermometric property of steam at a temperature of 100 degree centigrade. This Pi is again thermometric property of ice at 0 degree centigrade. Now here temperature is given 30 degree centigrade means theta is equal to 30. Now this P theta we have to find out this Pi thermometric property at melting point of ice. Melting point of ice means 0 degree centigrade. At 0 degree centigrade the thermometric property is given here this length. This length is 2 centimeters, so Pi will be equal to 2. Now Ps is the thermometric property at steam or at boiling point of water. At boiling point of water, this distance or this thermometric property is given 10 centimeter plus 2 centimeter means 12 centimeter. We have to take this distance from the starting point from this point P. So from point P it is 2 plus 10 12 centimeter. So here Ps is equal to 12. This Pi again it is 2. It is thermometric property of ice. Now here by solving this one we will get the answer 5 centimeter and 5 centimeter is given in option C. So our correct option is option C. Question number 19. Which substance in the table is liquid at 20 degrees centigrade? Here in the option A, melting point of the substance is given minus 218 and boiling point minus 183. Means at a temperature of minus 183 it is already boiled. So at a temperature of 20 it will be in the gaseous form. Option B, melting point is minus 39 and boiling point is 357. So here in the option B, the substance will be liquid at a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade. So our correct option is option B. In option C, melting point is 44. Melting point of the substance is given more than 20. So at a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade, this object will be solid form. Here in D, again, the melting point is given 119, that is more than 20 degrees centigrade. So here in the option D, it will also be in solid form at a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade. So our correct option is option B. Question number 20. In which situation do sound waves not travel? Okay, sound waves are the waves that need a material medium for their propagation or to travel from one point to another point. Now here in the option A, it is given from a satellite in space to Earth. From a satellite in space to Earth, sound cannot travel. This option is correct option. Why sound cannot travel? Because above the surface of Earth, a few kilometers, there is air, there is material medium. But after this, a few kilometers of air, there is nothing, there is space, there is vacuum. In space or in vacuum, sound waves cannot travel. So sound will not travel from a satellite in space to Earth. So our option A is correct option. Option B, from a ship to a submarine, no sound can travel because from ship to submarine there is material medium, water present there, and in water sound wave can travel. From an explosion underground to the surface, no sound can be heard because underground, the surface of the earth, there is many material things like rocks, water, minerals, etc. So sound can travel through this material medium and it can be heard on the surface of the earth. Option D, through a balloon filled with helium gas. Here it is given helium gas. Gas is a material thing, so sound can travel through a material medium. So in option D, sound can also travel. So option D is also incorrect. So our correct option is option A. From a satellite in space to Earth, we cannot hear the sound. Okay, today we have completed up to question number 20. The remaining 21 to 40 we will do in the next session. Thank you very much.